Hello and welcome to Module 1.7 of Oregon Third-Party Verification Training. This module covers how to stay compliant with Division 272, our third-party verification program regulation. For any questions related to this training program, please contact us at 3pverify@deq.oregon.gov. We'll begin with a brief overview of Division 272 and our record-keeping requirements, talk about how verifiers and verification bodies maintain their DEQ approval, and then cover how DEQ provides ongoing oversight of verifiers and verification bodies. This module covers compliance with Division 272, but verifiers are also responsible for knowing the regulations their clients report to. If you have any questions about our reporting requirements, please contact us. Third-party verification requirements are contained in Oregon Administrative Rule, Chapter 340, Division 272, which was adopted by DEQ in 2020 to establish third-party verification requirements for data submitted to the greenhouse gas reporting and clean fuels programs. This slide explains where to find particular requirements within the rule. The first few sections cover important definitions and how to determine verification applicability. Section 200 of the regulation covers rules for applying for and maintaining DEQ approval to provide verification services. Sections 300 and 400 cover verification services in detail by program, and Section 500 covers DEQ's requirements for conflict of interest evaluation between verification bodies and their clients. A note on record keeping. According to regulation, documents related to verification may be requested by DEQ. We may make that request to either you, the verification body, or to the responsible entity. Responsible entities and verifiers alike must retain records for 7 years, and records must be detailed enough to allow for a transparent review of how the verification body reached the conclusion in the verification statement. Because DEQ approves verifiers and verification bodies with the understanding that they are accredited either by CARB or the ANSI National Standards Board's Greenhouse Gas Validation and Verification Body Accreditation Program, it does not run its own separate accreditation program. Therefore, it is important to make sure that verifiers and verification bodies are using terminology that aligns with what is in DEQ's regulation. When you are marketing to potential clients here in Oregon, please use the terminology DEQ approved and not DEQ accredited. Speaking of approval, DEQ can modify, suspend, or revoke any approval it has granted to a verifier or verification body. It is therefore very important to contact DEQ with any of the following notifications, as failure to do so could result in suspension or revocation of your DEQ approval. Please contact us immediately if you update, lose, or withdraw your CARB or ANSI accreditation. Contact us within 30 days if you no longer meet the requirements for DEQ approval under OAR 340-272 for another reason. If you receive a nonconformance in any other voluntary or mandatory greenhouse gas or fuels reporting program, please contact DEQ within 20 days of receiving the nonconformance to let us know. When you do this, please include the notification from the agency or body that administers the program and detail any corrective actions taken. For verification bodies in particular, it's important for DEQ to know if there have been any changes in verifier staffing at your organization, because this could impact the sectors for which your organization is approved to provide verification services. As a reminder, you're required to maintain at least 2 DEQ-approved lead verifiers to maintain approval as a verification body. We know that sometimes verifiers move from one verification body to another, so this is something to keep in mind if you do not have many lead verifiers approved. Third-party verification rules also mandate the verification body maintain a minimum of $4 million in professional liability insurance, and that it discloses to DEQ any administrative or judicial actions it has been subject to. So please remember to promptly alert us to any changes in either of these application materials. This slide is a reminder to all verifiers and verification bodies that if any changes have occurred in the past year which would change how your information is listed in our approved lists, such as changing verification bodies, to provide us with updated information as soon as possible. For verifiers, this includes updating us about any contact information updates, name changes, or employment updates. Verification bodies should provide us with any major staffing changes and updated insurance documentation. All verifiers and verification bodies must have a current copy of their accreditation on file with DEQ at all times. DEQ can modify, suspend, or revoke verifier or verification body approvals at any time. Some situations where this may occur include if the verifier or verification body fraudulently obtained or attempted to obtain accreditation under any other approved accreditation program, fraudulently obtained or attempted to obtain DEQ approval, or failed at any time to satisfy DEQ's eligibility requirements. Some other situations where your approval could be modified, suspended, or revoked include if you did not satisfy the requirements to maintain DEQ approval, if you provided verification services that failed to meet DEQ requirements, if you violated conflict of interest requirements, or if you knowingly or recklessly submitted false or inaccurate information or verification statements to DEQ. To ensure continued compliance of verifiers and verification bodies to Division 272, DEQ maintains an audit structure for oversight. Each year, DEQ will sample a subset of verifications performed during the year and audit them for regulatory compliance. There are three main types of audits employed by DEQ. The first is a desk review, which is typically a review of information requested by DEQ from the lead verifier, such as the full verification report or sampling plan. The second is a site visit observation, where during full verification years, DEQ staff travel to observe the verification team as it conducts on-site verification activity for the entity. The third is a more general review of the verification body's internal procedures and may involve meeting with DEQ to share a small sampling of verifications performed and answer questions from DEQ staff. These types of audits are performed more frequently during less intensive verification years. Division 272 governs data requests made by DEQ of the verifier or verification body. If DEQ audits a verification body, upon written request, the verification body must provide to DEQ the verification report and any other supporting documents within 14 calendar days. Upon written notification by DEQ, the verification body must make itself and its personnel available for a DEQ audit. If a site visit will be observed, DEQ will provide plenty of advance notice to the lead verifier. If subject to a DEQ audit, you'll receive a brief report containing any feedback on the verification that DEQ deems appropriate to provide. Reports are generated by verification and will apply to a specific verifier. DEQ files these audit reports and tracks nonconformances year to year. Repeat violations may result in modification, suspension, or revocation of a verifier's approval to provide services in a particular sector or more generally. Finally, verification bodies and responsible entities are required to monitor the potential for conflict of interest for 1 year following the completion of verification services and report any new potential conflicts to DEQ. This means that the verification must report any new contracts between the verification body and responsible entity or new conflict of interest circumstances within 30 days. The disclosure should contain enough information about the work to be performed for DEQ to determine whether the new contract or circumstance impacts the ability of the verification body to provide services for the responsible entity. This concludes Module 1.7. Thank you for attending. If you have any questions about this course, please email us at 3pverify@deq.oregon.gov.